Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be watching the best deleted mobile games by Jake Miller. Also, if there is anything else that you would like me to react to, please let me know in the comments down below.
Have you ever randomly remembered an old mobile game you loved, tried to look it up to play it again, only to find out it's gone forever? I feel like that happens to everybody, and it's always the worst feeling to know you're missing out on a game you genuinely miss. My initial goal for today is to just relive the glory days of playing all these old games you might have forgotten about. These are classics that I don't want to forget. A lot of them are branded and were deleted because their licenses ran out, but there are a few unique cases otherwise for us to cover. I get requests to talk about the Infinity Blade series daily. So let's play these old games if possible, discuss why they were deleted, if it's possible to play it today and how for those who want to, and most importantly, if they deserve to come back. Kind of the whole point is...
Most of them do. Like, let's take Floppy Bird from instance.
Yeah, they should, but maybe we are simply feeling nostalgic for something that was never that...
Okay, maybe let's just skip the intro.
Obviously, we have to start with Flappy Bird.
Yeah, Flappy Bird. I said it Floppy Bird by mistake. My bad. Flappy Bird.
One of the most well-known deleted games of all time and a cultural phenomenon. Everyone...
I think I remember playing this on my grandma's phone. And then there was another game where there were like a few snails which used to move around boxes, and we had to move them in a particular way so that the snail could get out of there.
One was playing this game.
I think if I remember correctly, it was a Lenovo phone.
I was in elementary school at the time, and people would just be competing on each other's iPods to get to new high scores. Genuinely, I still remember playing it in the lunchroom to this day. Why was it taken down though? How does such a popular, well-performing game get deleted just like that?
Oh yeah, actually I think I already know about this one. I'm not going to fake my reaction. So apparently a lot of people got addicted to this, and instead of like fighting off their addiction or getting some professional help, they actually started to blame the creator for it. And like after all that harassment, the creator was like, nah, I can't do this anymore, and took down the game.
If you look up why, you'll get tons of different reasons. The creator got a cease and desist from Nintendo, he received death threats, and the game was causing real-life violence, and just that the...
It's ridiculous to say the game was causing real-life violence. I think this is one of the least violent games.
The popularity was too much for the guy to handle. It sounds like the real reason is he just felt guilty for creating a game that people were wasting their time playing, but taking it down might have had an even bigger impact. People will find ways around this, and you can't physically take away the game from people who owned it. It went so far that people would sell their phones or iPods with the game.
Yeah, that part is ridiculous. Like, just because that game is not like, that's a good game, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth $856
game on it. That's how big of an impact Flappy Bird had. It works so well because it's so simple yet addictive. Anyone can get good at this game. It requires no skills or learning curve.
What do you mean no skills? It requires a lot of skills.
And it's very exciting to get new high scores. I played for just a few minutes, got to 67 and was absolutely set on getting further, but that's going directly against what the creator wanted. Why waste more of my time on a game built to do just that? I'm sort of glad Flappy Bird is gone, honestly. People will find a way to waste their time with anything, and if the creator doesn't want to be responsible...
Yeah, like, I think it's ridiculous by the fact that they actually blame the creator for it. If you get addicted to something, that's totally on your own. That doesn't mean that you are going to go and bash the creator for it.
So for that, then more power to him. Flappy Bird had its time in the spotlight, and I don't think it needs to come back. Besides, there are endless clones and ripoffs you could still play instead.
Yeah, that's a fair take.
A game that will always be important to me is Disney Crossy Road.
That is not something I have ever played as a kid.
Actually the first thing I made YouTube videos on when I started my channel. I already loved
8 years ago? Oh, that's a really old channel then.
Crossy Road, so giving us a bunch of new worlds, iconic characters, and new secrets to unlock, I was immediately hooked. If you're unfamiliar, it's a Frogger game. You cross the road while dodging obstacles, and you collect coins to put towards unlocking more characters.
Oh, I remember playing this game, but not like this.
I just love the art style of this game, I can't explain it. Some of the characters in this game are more iconic to me than the actual source material. Now, let's be real, Disney Crossroad got a ton of updates in its lifespan. From The Incredibles to Pirates of the Caribbean to Lilo and Stitch, this
Yeah,
game really got all the big Disney franchises over time. By the Cars update, it was already clear the end was in sight, but we knew there were DuckTales characters in the files of the game and there should be at least one last update before the end. But after months of waiting, I think most fans had given up. And then one day it just happened. Out of nowhere, we got the final content update, and it was a blast just getting to relive the experience of unlocking everyone from a new world one final time. Eventually, I'm sure Disney's contract with them expired, and just like that, the game would be gone. Again,
is it actually on? I think. Okay.
it's hard to even be too sad about that because we got so many worlds and characters during its lifespan. And one last hurrah with the DuckTales update. It's greedy to want more, but man,
I mean, I don't blame them. It's for
want more. There is a new event coming. I'll just have to wait 17,077 more days.
17,000 days. Does it say 46 years?
Those 46
It
years will go
does.
by
It's almost 47 years.
fast. Or just a new branded Crossy Road game.
Yeah, you went playing that game. Let's be real. You went playing that game.
Marvel Crossy Road, Nintendo Crossy Road. Heck, I'd even take a Big Bang Theory Crossy Road.
Who made this? We have got Sheldon, Penny, Roy. Wow.
I selfishly wish this game never died, and of course I want it back. I'd play every update until the day I died. Out of
I think that take is a bit biased because that was one of his most favorite games.
all the Endless Runners lost to time, the most fondly remembered and devastating loss of them all is Spider-Man Unlimited. This game has so much that is 100% selfish to want more, but to just be able to play it again is really all people want. This game is a Spider-Man fan's dream. Looking at the roster of characters just blows me away every time. I could sit and scroll through it for an hour, just looking at all the fun variants here. Most are Spider-Men and women, but there's some unique ones too. Not many Endless Runners have a story, especially not one that can explain the things you do in the game, or such a well-made opening cutscene. I'll never get sick of watching it.
Okay.
We start out chasing down an alternate universe goblin, and even Nick Fury interrupts before giant ships emerge from a portal in the sky. From there, you get a bit of dialogue before each level pertaining to the mission. Once you complete each level's mission, you continue to play endlessly to earn even more
To be honest, I never played this game. I don't remember it.
rewards. There's always something new happening, whether you're
Now that I think about it, I haven't played a lot of mobile.
swinging through the streets and dodging lasers, or running through Oscorp using your spider sense to, strangely, also dodge lasers. It is action-packed and really fun to progress through. Looking into why it was delisted, it seems the game just ran its course. 427 characters is nothing to scoff at. Marvel is especially tricky to deal with in terms of who has the rights to what, and I guess Gameloft just didn't keep up the rights to
Yeah,
have the
makes
game going
sense.
anymore. Again, it just sucks the game has to be deleted for that, especially because, as I'm proving right now, the game still works perfectly fine. But yes, if it was possible to return, which it's definitely not, it should. I believe there's a fan revival
Yeah.
for the game though if
This looks interesting. I don't necessarily agree with the second one, but I think this one should come
you're
back.
interested.
Even if I never played that game before, I feel that way.
Which reminds me, I forgot to mention this, but both Flappy Bird and Disney Crossy Road can easily be emulated. You just need to download an APK for them. Spider-Man is a bit trickier as it uses motion controls on top of normal touch controls, but I'm sure you can make it work too, just in case you want to download any of those games. You would not believe how often I get suggested to try Infinity
Okay.
Blade or include it in a Hidden Gems video. Or maybe you would if you're one of the people suggesting it. Well, either way, I've tried covering it before, but basically found out it wasn't possible to emulate. That was quite a while ago though, and in that time, the first game has been revived by the fans we played on PC. It's pretty easy to find the Reddit thread for it if you're interested, but this is my first time trying the game, so I am pumped. The intro shows us how to play, and then we instantly die. That's messed up. 20 years later, you play as the son of the guy who died, and this is where the bloodline begins. Each fight seems impossible against
Okay.
knights and creatures twice your size, but if you can
Infinity.
successfully block or parry, you can get some hits in and beat them. This game is very clearly made for touch controls, so playing in full screen on my big computer monitor was somewhat difficult to pull off each precise move. However, I had a blast as I played. This game is so cool.
Makes
I love
sense.
this world. I love these character designs. I ended my recording finding this big robot. There's a lot of fairly normal looking knights and some weird creature people too, and I can only imagine it gets more cool as we go. Again, it is super unfortunate that the system this was made for on mobile isn't really possible to play on, but the fact that I had this much fun in just a short session of playing is really all I needed to know. People miss this game for a reason. In fact, there was a whole trilogy of Infinity Blade games we're missing out on. So why is that? Well, believe it or not, Epic Games, you know, the Fortnite people,
$19 Fortnite card. Who wants it?
created Infinity Blade. And because they needed to focus on their up-and-coming games, again, Fortnite, they decided to take down the games and save themselves the time having to keep the game up to date and everything.
This just looks like such a great game, man, with a good story. It was a shame that it had to go.
I think it's safe to say with the success of freaking Fortnite, they made the right call. They could come back to this game and re-release it for the die-hard fans who miss it, but of course not. Why would they do that? But yeah, I think this game should come back, and I'll be riding in the Epic Games parking lot until it does. The great thing about using the same Apple ID for my entire life is that if I ever previously owned one of these games, there's a chance I can still play it, like with Spider-Man Unlimited. But sadly, some apps are just completely purged even if you did own them at one point, like Flappy Bird, Where's My Perry, and our next game, Tiny Death Star. A spin-off of the game Tiny Tower, obviously themed around Star Wars. I think it's really cool this game exists at all. Some little mobile game got to partner with Star Wars, and the collaboration just works so well. You slowly build more and more levels to your Death Star, getting new residents and giving them jobs, all themed around iconic Star Wars characters and locations. Now and again, you'll even get a famous guy like Jar Jar Binks to stroll in and play a little cutscene. Over time, you get to invite all the major Star Wars characters, but of course, part of the appeal of this game is waiting for things to be built and tasks to be finished. You can't sit down and beat the game in one sitting. It takes years to make a good Death Star. So how am I going to do that if this game doesn't exist anymore? This is just a rumor, but apparently Disney took the game down without even informing the creators of Tiny Tower.
Really?
That's really sad, but I guess you know what you're getting into when you work with Disney, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of believable that Disney would do something like that.
It's a cool game that was well done, but obviously it will never come back, and let's just keep it that way. Support Tiny Tower and its creators, not the Greedy Mouse Corporation. Just find an APK if you want to play it again.
Makes sense.
Cartoon Network games definitely take up a large portion of deleted mobile games that people miss. I don't really get why, but one by one they all disappear over time, and everyone who played them is nostalgic for a particular one they remember fondly. Maybe that's Steven
Which
Universe
one?
Attack the Light, or one of the Amazing World of Gumball games, but the most important one to me and many others is Adventure Time Card Wars. After the episode with the
I remember this game very
released,
well.
every kid who saw it wanted to play the game themselves, and it was a no-brainer to turn it into a video game. Obviously, a physical board game would be cool, but sort of impractical. Anyways, I played this game all the time, but I wasn't very good at it. As the name suggests, you can build your own deck to fit your playstyle and take down opponents. You used to be able to play online, but I doubt there's an easy way to do that these days. Instead, you can play the story mode, and each time you beat a character, like Marceline for example, you will unlock them. Each character has a unique skill, similar to PvZ Heroes if you played that. The cards are pretty cool, some from the episode in the show, and a lot of brand new monsters and spells. Each one can be flooped, of course, including the pig, which activates a unique skill. The way I like to play is very aggressively, taking hits but dealing as much damage as I can to just win early. It's high risk, high reward at all times. I also forgot how important it was to land these spinner wheels correctly, dealing double damage, or just completely blocking and countering opponents' attacks. They put so much effort into this game to not only make it faithful to the show, with great music and voice acting and okay graphics, but a decent deck building game on top of that. I want this game back, and I want them to make it real because that would be awesome. Someone suggested I should try a game called Grabbitron, and just out of curiosity, I looked it up to see if it looked fun or not. And then just a wave of nostalgia hit me when I saw the gameplay. I remember this game, and I certainly don't remember it being so low quality. I forgot that it was made by the creators of the Hungry Shark games, who apparently love making games about killing little humans. But you control a UFO with a big meaty claw to swing around and grab stuff. As you play, you'll receive missions like abduct a bunch of farmers. You complete missions to earn gems to upgrade your ships or travel to new locations. It's nowhere near as greedy as games these days. I bet you could unlock everything within a sitting, as long as you're good at the game and you can really rack up points. It was meant to be played with motion controls, so it sort of sucked using my mouse to control a joystick on screen, but I still had a lot of fun. To be honest though, the stages are pretty empty. Sometimes you can find some secrets, but a lot of times I was just going back and forth a lot. And then if you get hit by a rocket launcher, you just instantly die. Anyways, it's clear to see why this game isn't around anymore. This really isn't even a guess. The team just had no plan to keep it updated for modern devices, and it will forever be a low quality looking old mobile game because of that. They put all their effort into the Hungry Shark games, and that seems to have worked out. I don't think we need a Grabbitron revival, there's just not a lot to it, but if they revamped the series, I would be more than happy to give it a shot. We're at the halfway point now, and I'd like to do a quick lightning round of random games I have on my old Kindle Fire. It's a real treasure trove. I just wish I had some way to screen record on this thing. If anyone wants to buy it, name your price, honestly. Anyways, lightning round. I was going to include Mega Run, but good news. It was actually revived. That is an right.
I know about this one.
There, if you missed this game and want to play it again, you actually can. Same with a game I loved called Spin Rhythm, which got a full fresh console release. Even bigger win right there. The music in this game is awesome and I can't recommend it enough. Anyways, back to the Kindle, I had The Croods, an awesome town building game. Apparently there was an amazing Spider-Man 2 game, that's gone forever. Adventure Time Time Tangle, I saw some people suggest this one in my comments. Zombie Road Trip was a banger. If I make another one of these videos,
I remember this game. That was so good. This was like iconic. Like, at least it has a special place for me.
I gotta play that one again. And of course, the game I miss every day of my life, Baby Ninja Dance.
No, I don't think I ever played this, or I even knew the name of this. What am I even looking at? That's it? That's the game? I guess it is alright for keeping kids engaged.
I'm actually not sure if I can sell this Kindle Fire, or I'd never be able to play that ever again. Alright, that's a lightning round. Now back to the rest of the video.
Okay.
I have actually never heard or played of any of the Cordy games, but people really wanted to see it. It's a mobile platformer focused on
Same. I haven't died.
collecting gears and charges to exit each stage. I gotta say, for an old game, this looks pretty dang good to me. I love this art style. It was really charming, even if the first two levels are pretty bare bones. But I am telling you, swinging around on your cord feels awesome and you can build up a ton of speed from it. This feels like that one chibi robo game everyone hates, but done much better. And it really does feel like one of those old mobile games you just download and breeze through in one afternoon. I miss this era of games, and while it really isn't anything spectacular, it just brings me back to better times on the App Store. Let me know if the other Cordy games are worth checking out, I'm curious now. As for the first game, it's cute, but I don't feel the need for it to come back. I can't really imagine a game like this existing in the modern mobile game landscape. It sounds like the company that made this were bought out, and then those guys didn't bother to keep their games up to date, and
I think it could. If they really wanted, I think they could make it exist, and that would actually go famous too. If it has an actually good plot, not just the game. Like if it has a good plot too, I think it could actually work out.
2017, they basically shut down all operations. That's a sad ending to a very cute, fun game series. Branded town builders are the worst games to lose because the whole point is to spend months and months building up your village and unlocking everything. I actually did an entire video playing town builders for 2 weeks. I'd planned to do it for an entire month, but those were honestly some of the worst, depressing 2 weeks of my entire life. And for some reason, I didn't realize I owned SpongeBob Moves In and could still play it. You'll have to find an APK if you want to do the same, but not me. I get to play it right on my phone. They chose a very unique art style for this game, and sometimes I love it,
Yeah, no, I don't remember at all playing this game.
sometimes I hate it. Depends on the day, really. You can earn money to unlock new characters and buildings, but most of the time you are making ingredients for making people the kind of food they want. It makes a lot of sense for a SpongeBob town builder, and already after 10 minutes of playing, I am hooked. I would love to play this game for months in preparation for this video so you could all see my cool
It looks pretty cool though. Like, I really love the colors.
SpongeBob town and characters, but it feels so pointless to even consider getting into this game. I want to, but it doesn't exist anymore, so why would I? Clearly the game works though, so why not just keep it in offline mode? Why not, Nickelodeon, you cowards? I see no reason as to why this game couldn't come back, and that's why I'm saying it should.
Yeah.
In what other game can you make the main character walk around town in their underwear? One of my all-time favorite and most missed games is Tiny Thief. I did a whole video with this game and Retry and a few more
I don't remember playing this game. Maybe the gameplay would remind me of it.
Rovio classics, so I won't go too in-depth here. But I can't not talk about it again. It deserves all the love in the world. At its core, it's a point-and-click puzzle game. You play as the one and only Tiny Thief,
Yeah, I don't remember this game at all.
who starts off just stealing for his own sake until eventually you become the hero and save the princess. There is so much charm, love, and care put into this game. With zero dialogue, you still learn to fall in love with every character. Collecting all the secrets and playing through from start to finish is an unforgettable experience, and all you gotta do is find an APK and download it, or buy the Wii U version, up to you I guess. If you're somehow still not convinced, there's even a level where some guy kicks his cat, so you hide in his bed and the hottest woman in town gets out of the shower and joins you. If that is not
Huh?
enough to convince you this game should still exist, frankly I don't know what will.
Oh. Okay. I mean, yeah, like, I don't know what to say. Let's just continue.
I apologize for the low frames in this section. It might give you a headache to watch, so maybe just use this as an audio-only section if it bothers you. Anyways,
fine.
while this game was probably more well-known for being on Miniclip or Armor Games or whatever Flash website you chose to frequent in your childhood,
Is it Sonic game?
Gravity Guy was also important to a lot of people on mobile. And since all you have to do is tap to invert the gravity, it's kind of the perfect fit. I've never played this game before, but I already see the appeal. You go so insanely fast sometimes, to the point where you can't really even react to what's coming before it's too late. I love when games like this do that. Can you imagine how boring this game would be if it was at the same starting speed for the entire game, and you're being chased, so you can't just simply stop or stall for time? Now, as I'm sure you can tell, this
Yeah.
game is old and outdated, and was never made to fit the free-to-play market on the App Store. It cost more to update and maintain than they were earning back, so Gravity Guy went bye-bye. It's as simple as that. It's a very simple game to the point where I don't really see the need for a grand return anytime soon, but I can totally understand why people are nostalgic for this one. I got an APK for it, but I bet you can play it on your browser like the good old days too. Probably the biggest and most well-known purchase of any series on the App Store would
I know this game! I played this game so much.
have to belong to Angry Birds. Not only will we be covering a couple of the dozen classic Angry Birds games they don't want you to play ever again, but I'll give you a little story of just how evil and awful Rovio is as a company. Let's just go over 3 Angry Birds games that people missed for now. We'd be here all day if we wanted to cover the rest of them. The biggest and strangest loss is probably Angry Birds Classic. You know, the
Yeah,
first
I
game of the
played this
series.
game. I played this game so much as a kid. I remember it.
The entire reason your franchise exists in the first place, the game that comes before your sequel that is still on the App Store despite the first game being deleted. Oh yeah, that game. With some of the greatest level design in the series history, the first Angry Birds game is one of the best
I have zero idea why on earth would they cancel it.
in every single game Rovio still allows you to download. My story about Rovio is tied to the deletion of this game, so I won't go too in-depth for now, but of course the original Angry Birds game should come back, and it's crazy I even have to say those words out loud.
I mean, why was it removed to begin with in the first place?
The branded games make a little more
This one, I played this game too.
sense. As we've seen with a bunch of games on here, licenses run out and games shut down. It just happens. However, Angry Birds Transformers is still going strong to this day, and the console game Angry Birds Trilogy features the game Angry Birds Rio, meaning you can physically purchase and play this game lost from the App Store at any point in time, just not on your phone. If you've heard me talk about Angry Birds Rio before, then you know it's my favorite game in the series, and I believe it is a real and actual crime that people can't just download and play it whenever they please. This
Exactly.
masterpiece cannot be trapped on an overpriced console version. It just can't. And finally, let's talk about a beloved spin-off, Angry Birds Go. I recently did a full review of this game, so if you want a more in-depth look, there you go. But this racing game where you unlock each of the birds and upgrade your car and drive
Yeah, I played the other two, but I did not play this one. Just let me know if it was good or not.
down really fun nostalgic courses is a really great time from beginning to end. Sure, Rovio tried selling people carts for 50 real-life dollars, but you
$50? Excuse me? Yeah, no wonder it got.
can ignore that and still have a fun time with the game. Eventually, before it was wiped from existence, they actually updated the game to the 2.0 update, which was so bad and hated that people actually prefer that the game stay dead. That's actually a decent strategy.
Of course.
Make people hate your game and then they won't care if it gets deleted. Genius! But the original version of the game was pretty fun, I won't deny.
Is it just me or do you guys feel that they are doing this with Clash Royale too? Is it just like bad management or is it intentional, like the thing they're trying to did with these games in the past?
It. There's a great mod of this game called Nitro I played for its dedicated video, and I'd recommend it. Alright, now as promised, here's a little bedtime story about the most villainous mobile game company out there. I'm sorry if I give you nightmares, but I promise it's a thrilling and important real story to spread the word about. So in 2019, all the fan favorite Angry Birds games were wiped suddenly and permanently, and ever since that day the fans have begged to have the games come back. Rovio claimed these games didn't meet their standards or weren't up to date to work on modern devices anymore. But in reality, they were very careful about what games they removed. Every single game, besides Bad Piggies for some reason, is a live service game, something you can play every day. You can play events and do your daily tasks, and
I played this game too, I remember it. And I remember playing this part particularly.
of course, spend boatloads of money or watch countless ads. Rovio doesn't want you to play a good game that makes them a small amount of money. They want you to play a bad game that makes them a lot of money. So back to our story. Finally one day Rovio told us they would re-release the original game. Out of the kindness of their hearts, because they think it'll sell well, who can say for sure. You could get the whole game for a one-time purchase and never deal with ads or microtransactions. Is it the same company we've come to know? Oh, don't worry, they haven't changed a bit. See, when this re-release came out, it was so popular and all the fans went to buy it that the game was their best-selling and most widely talked about release by far. So when you searched for Angry Birds, you'd be presented with Rovio Classics Angry Birds, not one of their live service games like Angry Birds 2 or Transformers. Despite them making money from people buying their new game, their real money makers were being overshadowed. No longer the top result when searching for an Angry Birds game. And that just won't do, huh? So you know what they did? After finally giving the fans their original game back, they deleted that game too.
I mean, they deserve the hate at this point.
They even changed the name to Red's First Flight so it didn't have the words Angry Birds in it. Can you believe that shit? The fans supported a game that they wanted so much that Rovio punished them for it. Fuck you, Rovio. I will continue to cover the old games we love, but I refuse to promote your new releases any further. Alright, storytime got a little heated there for a second. I apologize.
No, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly valid.
Let's move to our last couple games for the video. These last games are really just me reminiscing about my favorites I'll never forget about, so indulge me for a moment if you will. I want to replay all 1,240 levels of Dr. Mario World so damn badly, and I simply cannot. Make this game offline? Alive forever? Not possible according to Nintendo. Despite the only online aspect being the freaking PvP mode. I have never played a puzzle game in my life that scratched the same itch for me.
I never played this game.
They introduced such interesting and game-changing mechanics throughout its lifespan, despite the only thing you can control are the pills you get. There is quite a bit of luck in terms of the colors of pills they give you, and how your character's abilities activate, but still quite a bit of skills required on your end. You have to juggle pills as they float up, fighting gravity as a mechanic to beat these stages, and it's just really well done. We got plenty of levels in this game, I don't even want more, I just want to be able to play them, that's all. So yeah, selfishly this is probably the one game I want to come back more than any other. At least I can still watch my series of videos documenting every single level and event the game ever had. That's called dedication, my friends. And lastly, our most recent loss, The Simpsons tapped out. To celebrate the game's death, I made that video I mentioned earlier playing some town builders and capturing the final footage of my decade-old town one last time. If you played a town builder, you know what it's like to collect buildings and characters and everything like that. So when I tell you I literally had every single character and building in the game, you should be impressed. I'll give you a little peek into how I achieved this without ever spending money on the game. There's Facebook groups dedicated to giving away free items in your town. I don't really know how they work, but they do, and that's how I got everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. I never supported the game financially and therefore helped lead to its death, right? Well, EA doesn't deserve my money. They couldn't let us keep our towns.
Makes
SpongeBob
sense.
still works. Why can't this? They know people spent a decade of their lives and boatloads of money on this game over its lifetime, and it's cruel and evil to take that away. I'll always miss The Simpsons Tapped Out, but it lived a good life, and they gave us all time to say
I don't understand how they could even do this like legally. People are actually buying these games like they're making in-app transactions. So when you just shut off that game, doesn't that invalidate all of the other things? Then they are just keeping the money without giving anything to us.
goodbye to our towns. And people online have found ways to preserve theirs, so good enough for me. We have no need to have the game back, EA. Thanks for nothing.